practice this fall so far. How are you feeling? And kind of looking back to last season, how do you feel like you've kind of evolved this group?
I think we put a lot of work in. Sorry to cut you off there. I think we put a lot of work into this all season in terms of our preparation, advancing our knowledge of the scheme. I think our players probably conducted at least 8 meetings on their own. Myself and Coach Cooper, we kind of stuck around here probably more than usual than we would in June and July just to make sure we can touch our guys and try to build upon the work that we did this spring. Last year obviously wasn't the standard, and we're lucky to have our head coach here to kind of break down this defense and really to pull it apart and really put it all back together again communication-wise to make sure our players are in the right position so we can play defense the way this place is designed to play.
Other than every getting better at everything, what's maybe one thing that you thought as a secondary you needed to elevate your play?
I just thought the understanding. I think sometimes the players can know what to do, but how everybody fits into the picture, that's another thing. Because then we're playing the game within the game. Where's my help? How does my help determine my leverage, right? And then we can begin to play from there. So I think we went from the what, right, to understanding the whys. I think I said that this spring. We need to know why we're doing what we're doing, and this is Generation Y, right? WHY. Everything we ask them to do, they want to know why. So as coaches, we got to be prepared to show them why.
You mentioned an emphasis on communication. Is that the big focus this fall camp, just making sure that everybody's communicating and making sure everybody is where they need to be?
Correct. We say communication is free. Right, and if you're loud and your volume reflects your confidence, right, it can be a little bit disappointing, right, to the offense. So one, we got to get lined up and be on the same page. Offenses don't stay the same; they don't stay static. So we like to win the pre-snap, meaning that we're going to anticipate what the offense is going to do rather than wait until it happens. So I think we took a step forward in that, and unfortunately, right, I'm ready to see us take the next step forward in a real game.
How is the dynamic between you and Bue different this year compared to last year? With this change?
I think obviously I have more access to him, now that he's in the room more consistently. But I thought last season, I had a really good relationship with him. Obviously, it was my first year working with him, so we had some opportunity to get to know each other both in the building and outside the building. And I just think being able to glean from him, because I think he's a bright defensive mind, is something that I can build in my tool bag, right, to build for my future. So I think our dynamic has been really well. It doesn't always seem that way, you know what I mean? But, the job's got to get done. But we got a really good relationship. Probably it's one of the most close-knit staffs I've been on. And I think when you're close synergy amongst your staff, the players can sense it, the players can feel it. And I'm excited to see what we can do with that synergy in the building because the times that I have been around some rooms that, have really good synergy amongst each other, we've been able to do some good things.
You had 5 interceptions a year ago. As you look to create more turnovers, is that something you look to do directly, or do you see that as a byproduct of doing everything else right?
For us, we like to say that we have 4 P's of takeaways. One being preparedness, right? If you're prepared, you know what to do, you can anticipate what's coming at you. The next one is physicality. If you arrive there with physicality, right, we got an opportunity to discharge the ball, right? The next thing we want to have, right, is purpose, right? We want to get there with a purpose. And more importantly, our calling card as a defense will be our pursuit. So we need population, meaning we need hats to the football. That's how we do it, right? If we prepare, we play physical, we have a purpose, right? And then we get there with population to get hats to the ball, right? I like opportunities to get even more. In terms of catching the football, I think it's an opportunity for us to just understand what we do, right? It goes back to the preparation. If I'm thinking, I'm unsure, right, of what my assignment is, I'm a little bit less, right, aggressive, right, in terms of my coverage and transitioning and making plays. So I think overall, right, we've taken a huge step forward. I don't like to talk about last year. That wasn't the standard, but we're light years ahead.
You mentioned standard. If you could put it into words, what is the standard that you're trying to set here?
I think for us, man, we're going to do more, right, with less in terms of our mentality. This program has always been blue collar. It's something when I've been a part of other programs, I hated it. Right, so we always want to model that standard that the defense, right, is the system, it's the standard of this program, and the rest of everybody else in the program will follow. So it starts with attention to detail, right? It starts with, right, physical play, right? Understanding that this game is going to be physical, and we play a physical brand of defense. If you don't like physicality, don't come to Oregon State. And no matter what, right, we overcome adversity and we finish. So I think those principles in our culture that's been reinforced over the offseason, I think we're going to see some of that, right, when the rubber meets the road on the field.
A year ago, Kobe Singleton came in with a lot of experience. Did he miss most of the year because of injuries, or was it just didn't fit in?
Yeah, I usually let Coach Bray kind of speak to the injury situation, but obviously Kobe did have an opportunity to come here from Liberty. He's played a lot of football. We play a different system here, so I think adjusting a little bit to that system kind of took a little bit of time. So I think that year off really helped him out, get an opportunity to take a step back, right? So he can learn more football, right? The whys and the whats of what we do, as opposed to the system that he played at Liberty. We're more off, right? We're a little bit more press coverage oriented. So I think that year off for him allowed him an opportunity to mature, right? To take a step back. When I say maturity, not an age, right? More maturity in the football 101, football intelligence. So I think, we're excited about him. He has some natural instincts about him, but I'm going to continue to push him to see what his ceiling is so we can get some consistency out of him.
Talk a little bit about Trey Glasper, what you've seen from him. Obviously just a young guy, impressed in spring, and early on from what we can see, looks to be kind of carrying that same bar here in fall camp.
Yeah, I think Trey is who we thought he was. He's a humble young man, but he carries himself with a lot of confidence. You would think he talked a lot of trash out there, but he does not. But we target those guys in our program, those guys who have humility, right, maybe under the radar. He was a kid in recruiting, right? I was nervous every week, because he's such a good defensive back, but he also is a really good receiver, and he had offers at wide receiver as well. So we're happy that he got here early, right? Got an opportunity to get in the weight room, got an opportunity to really get into our system. But he just has some innate ball skills, some innate instincts that you can't teach sometimes. And as a coach, we got to make sure that we don't overcoach it, right, and let those instincts come alive on tape. And we're just excited about him. He's a good student, right? He's got over a 3.0. He just joined the greatest fraternity in the land, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. So he hit the ground running in terms of early enrollee with a 3.0, joining the fraternity. We're just excited to see him play football, because even through all of that, he was able to keep the main thing.
Crandall, couple breakups today, looks healthy. What do you see from him?
Man, he's a bell cow. I think the more time that he stays or more time that he spends here in Corvallis, I think he gets more and more comfortable. I think sometimes kids from different areas across the country, you may be a West Coast guy and you go to school all the way on the East Coast, they may coach a little differently over there, right? And then you're a little bit more a fish out of water when you get over there. So I think he's more comfortable here. He's got a skill set in terms of speed to kind of stay on top of routes, but he has a quiet confidence about himself. Kind of struggled early, right? Going from a semester school, right, to a quarter school, you got to hit the ground running academically. So I think early in spring that kind of clouded him a little bit because he needed to catch up academically, being a 10-week quarter versus a 16-week semester. But I think once he got his grades in line, right, and adjusted to, right, the 10-week quarter, man, he started to lock in, started to settle in, fitting in with the guys. We love him. We're grateful to have him, man. He's going to make some plays for us. We're hopeful of that.
What's the divide and conquer been like between you and Coach Cooper?
I think it's never division, right? It's never division, man. It's two guys, one voice. And I think in the secondary, we've done a really good job of making sure that he and I are on the same page. He does a really good job of challenging myself. I do the same to challenge what we're doing and what we're teaching to see if we can do it a different way. So to have two guys in there that have the synergy, man. Many people don't know Coach Cooper's father is one of my greatest mentors. And if you got a good relationship with the guy that's working next to you, it's really easy. So I've got a personal obligation to make sure, Coach Cooper and I have a great understanding, a great relationship, because it's bigger than football when it comes to us, when it comes to his last name. So he's been doing a great job. He's a bright coach. He's not an up-and-comer, right? He's right here, right now. He's doing good things for us.
You've got a lot of experience on the back end at the safety. Tight end coaches are always saying they want to get as many tight ends on the field as they can. Do you feel the same way about that safety group that you've got, and how do you handle the rotation you've got back there?
Correct. I think with 12 football games, man, the days of playing every single snap are over. Especially playing at a position that's high contact, right? The frequency of contact is going to be a lot higher. So as many bodies that we can get to play winning football, the better we are. What that also does is increases accountability, right? Because if I'm not doing my job, someone else can. So I think if we can get a lot of bodies out there to communicate the proper way, right, align the proper way, and make physical contact, right, we love those guys. But at the same time, we can't leave Skylar out there, right, for 1,000 snaps this season. We don't want to have diminished returns, right, towards the end of the season. So we got a lot of guys working in there, whether it's Jaheim, Skylar, whether it's Tyrese Ivy, getting a little bit of help from Tajay Hopper. It was good to see Harlem Howard back on the field again. Mason is out there running around. We moved him from the outside to playing some inside. So we feel good about the safety room in terms of the experience in there to help out some of the inexperience that may be outside. We like the guys outside. They're really athletic, but it's good when you have, some guys who have to play some snaps, right, to kind of help calm those guys. And obviously the player, the coach helps with that as well.
older
Your last
guys,
question.
older guys who played nickel pretty consistently for you guys last year are back on campus right now. What's kind of been the competition like at that position? What are you really looking for in a starting nickel?
Consistency. I think that position is a little bit different. It's one of the harder positions to recruit because everybody wants them big and physical enough to go fit a B gap, but they also want them to be fast and athletic enough to cover a slot too. So for us, right, our nickel is always going to be a third corner or someone that has corner movements. So we recruit to this. That we want to recruit 5 defensive backs to put on the field at a time. We don't care what position they all play. If you're the 3rd best corner, but the 5th best DB, it's up to Coach Coop and myself to kind of figure the pieces out to make sure the best 5 are on the field. If we recruit that way, right, we got to make sure we exemplify that right when they get here. And that's been a good process for us. That's why we all meet together, right? That way, if I need to move Harlem, right, to nickel, he knows the situation. If I need to move Tyrese to corner, he knows the situation because we're all in there together. And again, it's 2 people with 1 voice. So I think that part of it has been really good for us. And it's given us opportunity, right, to whether I may be handling something with Coach Bray and the players want to come up and watch extra film, right, Coach Coop is available also. So it's a really good system where if he's busy doing something or if I'm busy doing something, the players always have someone, right, to kind of watch some extra tape with them. And believe me not, they are challenging us. They're probably up in my office already right now. I don't even get a chance to shower until later on, and I love it, and I want that. And because the good players are going to say, coach me, coach, all right, regardless of what it is. And again, we got to do more with less around here. We're going to play a tough schedule here, right, versus 12 games versus 9 different conferences, right? We got at least 2 to 3 potential first-round wide receivers projected, so it's going to be a great challenge for us. I'm excited to see us approach that.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank y'all.
44 this, is that, just make sure Bray didn't miss you on the field, given that's his favorite number?
Yeah,
or?
well, it's actually, 44 has been in like my family for a really long time. Like my mom was 44, my brother was 44, and for the longest time I was 44 too. It was my plan to be 44 when I got here, but it just didn't work out that way. So now that it's open, I decided to take it.
What was your mom was 44 what?
She played basketball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You've got 6 siblings. Where are you fit in the?
I'm the first middle technically. I'm the 3rd. I have an older brother and an older sister, and then I have 4 youngers.
So seven kids.
Seven,
I assume they're all
yeah.
pretty athletic.
Yeah.
What's that like?
It's nice. I mean, growing up is a lot of brotherly, friendly competition between all of us, see like who gets where and who does what. But it's been cool, honestly.
I mean, living in a small town like Tenino, you guys kind of stood out, did you? Just taking over everything.
Yeah, I stood out a little bit for sure, but it wasn't really all that abnormal to me. Nothing that I really blinked an eye at.
What was that transition like going from a small 1A school in Washington to big lights, big stadiums?
Yeah, it was definitely a big transition. I don't think it was really I expected it necessarily when I got here, but then getting to camp for the first time and being in our stadium for the first time, like kind of all hit me at once. I was like, wow, like I'm really here. It was great though. It was that's all I've ever wanted. So.
Do you recall the first game? What went through your head when you were looking up around?
I was just like,
this isn't.
I was just like, it was because I redshirted my freshman year, so I was just on the sideline. But I just remember looking around, and it was still before the stadium was fully built. So I just remember it was being so loud in here, and I was like, wow, there's so many people. It's loud, like, but it was good, yeah.
Last year, there was obviously a lot of frustration with the injuries on the front 7. How did you handle that, and how does that make you feel about what you see around you as we come into camp this fall?
How did I handle that? It was been a long process, something I'm still kind of in the middle of, coming on the home stretch. But really just taking time for me and getting in the training room, working with all our trainers, like everyone being on the same page, that's been really well. And then a lot of other injuries. It's honestly unfortunate to see injuries, but it's on the other side kind of not nice, but it's nice to see your brothers working hard. It's nice to see them striving to get better. It's nice to see them wanting that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you watch it happen in real time, obviously with me being injured, I understand where they're coming from. So I do appreciate the hard work and dedication that everybody puts in.
What do you feel like you can contribute this year physically?
Physically, well, the plan is to be able to contribute the same way I've always wanted to be able to contribute. Stop the run, affect the quarterback, make plays.
Do you consider yourself a lineman or an outside lineman? I know you're listed as an outside linebacker, but I'm just curious where you feel like you.
I just say D end, honestly.
Yeah. Now, when you were recruited, I read your hands are enormous. Aren't they like 11 and
Yeah, they're
8? They're the big, what's that give you from some guys don't have, your hands, I guess, are one of the biggest around.
Yeah.
What does that do for you when you're out there?
It's nice. I feel like it's my long arm, I guess, probably prospers most from it. Just
That
like
too,
have
yeah.
a big space to grab. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's pretty good. Like I can't really. I don't know. I don't know what it's like to not have big hands. So I don't really know.
Is it harder for linemen to hold you?
Yeah, probably.
But you got you got really long arms too with the hands.
Yeah, no, I think I definitely give them a bit of a challenge when I'm there, for sure.
Yeah.
You've been here and you've seen Coach Marshall change roles and now kind of being the coach for your position group, whatever you want to call that. It's Coach Marshall. What's that been like seeing him move into that role and how's that working?
It's honestly really good. I have appreciated being a part of that room a lot because Coach Marshall coaches with so much passion. You can tell he cares so much. And so it's like, it's nice being coached by somebody who you know you're going to get 100% from every day. So it's just been, it's been pretty refreshing, pretty nice, honestly.
How would you evaluate the room right now? Obviously, the pass rush was a big topic of conversation last year. Just how would you evaluate where this room is right now?
How do I evaluate it? I think that we've taken several steps. I think that last year and this year will become two completely different seasons, and I do appreciate the growth that I've seen from everybody around me.
How do you like the level of competition you've just seen, just even the first few days of fall camp between guys, one-on-one battles, that kind of thing?
One-on-one battles. We actually had our first one-on-ones today, but it was good. I'm a fierce competitor at heart. I love it. So it was nice to see. Honestly, I enjoyed it.
Game day, what's the family situation like? Are you looking for tickets usually?
Yeah, well,
I mean, you haven't been in that situation much yet.
not much yet, but yeah, that will be pretty well. I'll try to get as many tickets as I can for
I
everybody.
mean, how many might show up for your family and friends show up for a game?
Probably anywhere between like 5 to 8.
I thought it might be even more than that. Really? Or do you have brothers and sisters in college and?
Well, my little brother actually is going off to a school in Arizona. I'm forgetting the name. Here in August, but that's it. That's the only one.
I realize the position you want to play is defense and all that, but I'm just curious. In high school, you ran for 2,000 yards as a senior.
Yeah.
This school has been known to put a guy in the backfield occasionally on offense. Would you ever embrace that if they came up and said, "Hey, how about
if they
being
came,
Isaac Hodgins and giving it a try?"
if they came to me and said, "Look, we need you there," I would be there. So I wouldn't be shy about it.
Yeah, you would like it.
Yeah, I mean, running the ball is fun. Offense is fun. Defense is more fun, but offense is fun too. Good. Thank you, guys.
Last year, you might not have known what sort of a role you're going to have on the team, and then you ended up having a big role on the team. How does that compare to this year, arriving at camp after having had that experience under your belt?
I always say, all glory to God, being blessed to be in this position to begin with. And just coming into camp, knowing where I'm at, and being able to have those experiences helped me a lot. Helped me grow as a player, helped me have the opportunity to be able to go out this year and at least heal those wounds that I had last year that I did have young mistakes. So just being able to play fast now that I know where I'm at and understanding that more of the techniques and stuff like that. Being older now than I was a year prior. So yeah, I think it helped a lot.
How do you like the depth and talent just in the room this year, now that more guys are healthy, some new additions compared to maybe, say, a year ago?
Oh yeah, no, depth is amazing. Like Coach Chance said, we got a lot of guys out there every single day, guys out there that are playing, and the reps are going to keep taking a number. So having more guys that we can have trust in playing out there is a great thing, just because once someone goes down, as you saw last year with me, somebody has to step up and make a role. So it's a good thing that we have those options on the back end and being able to put anybody wherever they need to be able to play.
What's the mentality required to play nickel corner in this defense?
Mentality, man, you gotta believe you're the best. A lot of times last year I struggled with that. I struggled with having confidence, and I'm growing every single day, and I think I'm in a way different position than I am last year. My confidence is, I always said that I wanted to get back to that confidence that I always used to have, and last year it kind of died down, but I'm getting back up there. That confidence is growing every single day, and yeah, just confidence, man. You got to go out there, and as long as the people around you are playing the right thing, playing the right coverage, man, man, just go out there and challenge the receivers. We're attack front and challenge in the back end, so we got to make plays. And if you're not making plays, then you probably won't find yourself on the field. So, yeah.
Is Cal so far in the rearview mirror that you don't really remember being there, or does this game coming up really mean something to you?
No, yeah, for sure. Cal is in the rearview mirror. I don't really think I was even there. I mean, I still have good relationships with my roommates and people that I have close relationships over there with, as in the teammates and stuff like that. But I would be lying if I didn't say it was circled. I played a decent, not to my best ability game last year, so yeah, it is in my vision. But I still got to consider that it is just game one, and I got to understand that if you want to win all your games, you got to win the first one. So I'm just looking at it as a regular game, looking at it as a game that I can go out there and showcase what I can do, because every day is another opportunity to be able to showcase what you can do.
How do you like having Coach Chance and Coach Coop back in the back end for you guys?
Man, having both of them is just great. Both two minds are just great football gurus. You know, they understand the game and they understand what it takes to be able to play this position. And we got a young mind, and then we got an older perspective of what needs to be done. So just being able to make sure those two together and having Coach Coop come up and say anything that I need, and just having different coaching points, and then having another coaching point from Coach Chance when I'm out over there in the corner spot as well. So,
Would you say that is Skylar kind of the leader, for lack of a better word, on that defensive unit? And if that's right, what's his style?
yeah, no, I for sure say Skylar's our leader, just because he just shows the way it's supposed to be done. As an old head here, he showed that he's emulated what it needs to be able to take to be able to put in the hours, put in the work, and be able to go out there and execute the work that needs to be done. So I'd say yes, he is our leader, and I say that everybody else is trying to grow, just be able to emulate at least what he's doing. So we're all trying to bring it up, and Skylar's just a type of guy that, like, it's all fun, like, he's all nice, but once you're on the grass, man, it's all business with him, and he's locked in, man, and yeah.
How have you liked having Trent Bray back on the defensive side of the ball? And is that something like you guys can identify very clearly, like you didn't see him as much last year and see him a lot more now?
Yeah, Coach Bray, I mean, I always used to meet up with him last year for over coverages and stuff like that if I needed any help in the back end. But just being able to have everybody always tells me, like, he coached a great defense from prior years, just based on the calls that he would to formations and stuff like that. And yeah, it's jumped crazy into my eye. I see it every single day. Every time I see a formation and he calls something, I'm like, yep, I would probably play this too. So yeah, Coach Bray, man, it's night and day different when he's out there, and and I like that he's actually out there and he's connecting more with the defense. I have a good relationship with Coach Bray since I've got here, and yeah. You
got a couple of freshmen running around on the outside there. What do you think when you see them, fresh arrivals on campus? What do you see?
And I see myself in them. I see myself as a freshman that was here last year, redshirt freshman. Sorry, but I see myself in them. I was growing every single day. I was growing to be able to play, and I give them little tips and everything that help me because I know the position that they're in. I understand that coming from a high school playbook to a college playbook is really tough because usually in high school you only have like four or five coverages, and you come here and you have the same amount, but they're all disguised with different things. So yeah, it's a load that they need to start keeping growing with, but they're doing well, and like I said, man, I see myself in them, so I'm trying to help them as much as the old guys helped me last year as well.
All right, thanks, Mike.
Yep, thank you.